Hello, Internet. Jonny Lobo here with another installment of Lobo's List, where I make, you guessed it, lists on anime related topics. Today's topic 5 of the most influential anime in the world to date. Subjective or otherwise, picking 5 of the most influential anime in the world is no easy task. Inevitably, many fundamentals of Japanese pop culture will go overlooked in such a short video. Taking into consideration that my approach will largely exclude ancillary materials like manga and other adaptations, or franchises that may have gained fame primarily via some pre-existing medium other than anime, for my number 5, I'm going with the iconic fighting anime Dragon Ball Z. Drawing, of course, from the earlier Dragon Ball, and both drawing from Akira Toriyama's original manga, Dragon Ball Z not only inspired numerous other shonen works, including the Big Three, Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece, but it also put anime as a whole on the radar screen of an entire generation around the globe. A staple of Cartoon Network's Toonami since the lineup's early days in the late 90s, localized versions of Toei Animation's Dragon Ball Z quickly became synonymous with the concept of anime in general to many Westerners new to Japanese animation during the bygone days of predominantly pre-internet fandom. Ambitiously declared the greatest action cartoon ever made by the one and only Peter Cullen in a promotion during the series' extensive run on television, many die-hard fans would likely still agree with such sentiments. Part serendipity and part clever advertising, Dragon Ball Z was poised by promoters to take North America by storm. With its recurring moments of juvenile antics, including Toriyama's choice to humorously name many of the characters after types of food, which went unnoticed by most of the young, non-Japanese viewers. On the one hand, to someone on the outside looking in, it seems amazing that anyone was initially able to take Dragon Ball Z seriously at all. But on the other hand, with its violent combat scenes and terrifyingly monstrous villains, looking back, it's remarkable the show was ever targeted to children at all. Like it or love it, and I've personally been fond of it since the 20th century, Dragon Ball Z has had a profound, lasting influence on anime and manga, especially the shonen demographic, which resonates loudly to this very day. While we're still in the 90s, coming in at number 4 is Gainax's Neon Genesis Evangelion. Directed by Hideaki Anno, Evangelion didn't just redefine the mecha genre, which itself is no small feat. It set a new high bar for anime as both avant-garde art and popular entertainment, while being emulated by innumerable other subsequent productions soon after its premiere. Drawing inspiration from Japanese classics like Ultraman for its larger-than-life action sequences, and religious iconography for an atmosphere of antiquity, Evangelion has inspired countless other creative visionaries in Japan and abroad. In addition to specifically inspiring other industry professionals like Sword Art Online director Tomohiko Ito and Future Diary creator Sakai Isuno to create their own works, elements of Evangelion have been unabashedly distilled and duplicated over and over again. For example, pick your favorite moe character, if you have one that is. Whether it's an odd aesthetic emphasis on bandages, a calm kudere exterior, or any other number of the archetypal characteristics inundating modern anime, Rei Ayanami is probably the source material, either directly or indirectly. How about tsundere? Look no further than the outwardly confident, inwardly unstable, pigtail-sporting Asuka Langley Soryu. Due to the acclaim it continuously garners from film critics and theorists, and its long-standing success as a franchise, it almost goes without saying that in any conversation concerning influential anime, the cultural impact of Evangelion cannot go unmentioned. Moving on from a protagonist who mustn't run away to one who never runs from a real fight, at number 3 it's Sailor Moon. I sincerely apologize for that transition. In all seriousness, if Dragon Ball Z helped define current expectations for the traditionally male shonen demographic, then it can be said that Sailor Moon did the same for shoujo and its predominantly female fanbase. Adapted from author Naoko Takeuchi's original work and adapted numerous times since its release, Sailor Moon gained an international following while updating the magical girl genre and making it more well known to audiences of all ages. In addition to its positive themes of friendship and the power of femininity, Sailor Moon, like every other title on this aptly named list, was and continues to be very influential, sometimes in unexpected ways. For example, Hideaki Anno is said to have named aforementioned Rei Ayanami after Rei Hino of Sailor Moon as an attempt to entice his friend and Sailor Moon series director Kunihiko Ikuhara to join the production staff of Evangelion. All joking aside, Sailor Moon continues to be beloved by fans and remembered by critics in no small part due to its assertion of feminist ideals and the strong emotional support it has offered countless viewers, particularly young girls, over the years. Though thankfully, it seems like old hat nowadays, Sailor Moon's emphasis on female protagonists as the central movers of plot and narrative, along with the portrayal of male characters in more assisting roles, was truly noteworthy in its day, as the inverse, i.e. male leads with female side characters, has been the norm in storytelling across numerous cultures since time immemorial. And as with any truly great work, Sailor Moon struck a fine balance between exoteric values and esoteric takeaways. While any girl could identify with the superpowered Sailor Senshi and their struggle to balance schoolwork, relationships, and other responsibilities with saving the world, film critics took note of the previously mentioned feminist themes, including the pioneering way in which the Sailor Fuku-inspired superhero outfits of the Sailor Scouts symbolically fought back against the disturbing fetishization of Japanese girls' school uniforms that began in the 20th century and still lingers in much of Japanese media, for inspiring generations of shoujo consumers and creators, influencing a top 5 title already on my list, and empowering girls the world over while redefining a genre. Sailor Moon has earned its place on any list of influential anime. As we move further along the list, we have to dive deep into the past of anime. At number 2, it's the legendary space battleship Yamato. Strategically marketed abroad as Star Blazers, which was a necessity in the United States due to its real-world eponym, the Yamato, of the Imperial Navy, and World War II still being a not-too-distant memory at the time, Space Battleship Yamato is an indisputable juggernaut of Japanese pop culture. It directly influenced innumerable creators like Hideaki Anno, and even indirectly contributed to uncountable others, including Mobile Suit Gundam, which was initially created specifically to be a competitor to Yamato for ratings. To this day, numerous reiterations of its own aside, Space Battleship Yamato nods and tributes regularly crop up across various media in its homeland and elsewhere. Though it may be difficult to grasp for Westerners in the 2010s and beyond, Yamato is a major cultural edifice in Japan. It's right up there with Godzilla and the Super Sentai series. If I had to try coming up with an analog for us in the States, I guess you could maybe think of it like the fandom of Star Wars and Star Trek combined. It's a national treasure, and is both a long-standing, massively popular franchise and an intellectual work that effectively utilizes allegory for societal introspection. If you want to experience one of the greats in the history of anime, while embarking on an adventure series with themes and characters that probably inspired your favorite titles, then hop aboard Space Battleship Yamato today. As we delve into anime history and discuss the very origins of anime itself, I'm sure many of you are already guessing what I may be thinking. Does the name Osamu Tezuka ring a bell? My number 1 pick is the one and only Mighty Atom, a.k.a. Astro Boy. Produced by Mushi Production and aired on Fuji TV circa 1963, Mighty Atom stands out in my mind for so many varied reasons. Directed by the godfather of manga himself, the first animated television series was directed by the original author of its source material, which doesn't happen too often in the industry, who created a myriad of other notable works like Phoenix and Kimba the White Lion. The series' presentation of robotics and the ethical quandaries surrounding self-aware artificial intelligence and civil rights was incredibly ahead of its time. It's simultaneously on par with issues presented by SF giants like Isaac Asimov while being targeted towards and digestible by younger audiences. Credited by some as setting the foundations for creating the cute, wide-eyed aesthetic now ubiquitously associated with anime at large, Mighty Atom was not only one of the first anime series to be exported to the US, it was one of the first anime series to ever be produced, period. On top of inspiring uncountable Japanese readers and viewers, it's said that Mighty Atom even impressed director Stanley Kubrick, who purportedly wanted Tezuka to work on his upcoming film, 2001, A Space Odyssey. And its modern take on the Pinocchio motif, where a little boy doesn't know he's not quote-unquote real, and tries to earn parental affection, very may well have inspired not only Steven Spielberg's AI, artificial intelligence, but also the source material for said film, the short story Super Toys Last All Summer Long by Brian Aldiss. Because it has been so influential to so many people in so many fields over the years and across the globe, I confidently place Astro Boy at number 1 on my list of most influential anime. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe here on YouTube to catch the latest installment of Lobo's List, or the Who Cares About Anime podcast. Feel free to leave a suggestion or comment, and check out the description below for links to other anime-related projects. I'm Jonny Lobo, and we'll see you next time.